with us since we started this show all through 2023, 2024, 2025, and this time round. We believe that we'll come with impactful topics and analyses, which will be done by the maestro himself, Jide Studio. Today on the show, at last, Peter Obi joins ADC, boost opposition. Then we'll also look at the untold story of Anthony Joshua's accident, which happened in Ogun State. And later on the show, Trump's arrest of Venezuela President Nicolas Maduro, wife stirs panic as Sheikh Gumi deletes all anti-US posts. In the course of the program, we take your questions, but first subscribe to our YouTube channel and drop your questions in the comment section. It's important to mention that we can only read comments with human names and the ones based on the subject matter. I have joining me via Zoom, the maestro himself, Babajide Kolade. Good to see you, BKO, and compliments of the season.
Yeah, good to see you. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, Ibrahim, your family, and Happy New Year to our esteemed viewers. It's good to do it with you again today. And I have to say that we do not know whether it's actually true yet that Sheikh Gumi deleted some posts that are deemed anti-American. We were struggling to confirm that at the time of starting this broadcast, or we couldn't confirm.
That's right.
So maybe we'll just leave that and address other matters.
All right, then. Now let's get on to brass. Yeah, absolutely. But we can still talk about Trump's incursion into or invasion, absolutely, into Venezuela. Now let's get on to the brass tacks. Let's talk about Peter Obi, the topic that has sent tongues, wagging. Following months of political maneuvering, former Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi has officially joined the African Democratic Congress, known as the ADC, alongside high-profile politicians. A move many are describing as reshaping Nigeria's opposition landscape. Now, this is coming amid internal debates about zoning, coalition, coherence, and whether the move will translate into a credible challenge to ruling APC. BKO, in what ways do you think this move can alter the broader opposition calculus for 2027?
Yeah, no doubt about it. The move will certainly trigger fresh alignments and within the opposition. People want to see real opposition politics taking shape in our country. People want to see how opposition figures can come together to challenge the ruling party. People don't want to see us go into the 2027 election and the election looking like a non-event. They want some level of competition. As we speak today, the political landscape has changed rapidly. The APC now has 28 governors. It is in complete control of the South-South and the North-Central. Now, what people want to see is for the political ground to shift, even if it's a little bit, and not look like the presidential election is done and dusted. And as I've said to figures in the ruling party, there's no reason to believe that the election is done and dusted. You must be ready for a contest in 2027. And I've pointed to what happened in 2023 when APC governors could not deliver their states to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu during the presidential election of 2023. In Kaduna State, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was well beaten. In fact, he won only 2 local governments in the whole of Kaduna State. That's significant. And the same thing happened in many other states controlled by the APC. The law states that they were in control of in the presidential election. Nasarawa, Kano, Gombe, across the geopolitical zones. The ruling party lost in states where it had sitting governors. So for that reason, it shouldn't believe that this is done and dusted. And I want to believe that the coming into the ADC of Peter Obi, if they can work together, with Atiku, many people believe that the ADC is firmly in Atiku's pocket, that Atiku created the party all by himself and for himself. And people are convinced that Peter Obi will never pick the presidential ticket of the ADC. People are convinced that Atiku will end up being the running mate. I mean, Peter Obi will end up being the running mate to Atiku Abubakar, because they know that Peter Obi cannot win the primaries of the ADC. It will take a modern day miracle for that to happen. He doesn't have the structures. He does not have the funds to go into a presidential primary where he's not certain to be given the ticket on a platter. He has not had to contest the presidential primaries of any party. They always give him, so come and join us, oh, you'll be our candidate, this and that. So I do not see him defeating an Atiku in the ADC presidential primaries. Now, Kwankwaso is someone that I also want to talk about today. Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso is facing some big problems within his party, the NNPP. He has some disagreements with the incumbent governor. Some of the supporters of the incumbent governor believe that Kwankwaso will not let him have the ticket to contest for the governorship once again. And for that reason, they've been moving closer and closer to the ruling party. It is believed that before the end of the first week of January, the governor of Kano State, along with House of Assembly members in the state from the NNPP, would defect into the APC because the uncertainty surrounding his contesting the primaries of his party. Now, this, as I have heard, has triggered conversations between some ADC members and Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso. If this happens, it will mean that the individuals who came second, third, and fourth in the presidential election of 2023 will end up teaming together and contesting, teaming together in the ADC and challenging President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the election. It will mean that Peter Obi will be vice presidential candidate to Atiku Abubakar, while Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, depending on the negotiations, would support the ADC as a way of getting back at the APC for poaching his governor, for fueling disagreement within between him and his governor, who had been close to him for more than 40 years, who is also his in-law. So in politics, people try to avenge all kinds of wrongdoing. So it is possible that Rabbi Musa Kwankwaso will go and join forces with the ADC, effectively making the candidates who came second, third, and fourth to challenge the man who came first. So these kind of discussions are already fueling coalition talks. And I've seen the PDP saying, look, this is the time to come together so that the APC can be defeated. They're already having that conversation. They're already saying it clearly that at the PDP, what they are trying to do is to address the internal legal schisms within their parties before getting into talks about a broad coalition against the ruling APC. It is their belief that public disaffection about the state of the Nigerian economy, about the hunger in the land, would help them galvanize support for the major opposition party, which is the ADC, to challenge the president. I've also heard the one-party man, Sule Lamido, saying that the way things are going, they may have to move to find a way to work with another coalition to realize the intention of defeating the ruling party. Of course, Sule Lamido had never left the PDP, but recent events, especially the fact that he was not allowed to contest the chairmanship of the party during the convention in Ibadan, has made him to sue the party and has made him to start reconsidering his future. Don't forget the first few meetings that the ADC had. Sule Lamido attended one of those major meetings of the ADC, and this is one reason some members of some leaders of the PDP think that he is not worthy of being allowed to even contest for the chairmanship of the party, because the party announced from the beginning that it was not going to join any coalition. But Sule Lamido didn't listen to them. He decided to hold meetings with the ADC. So Sule Lamido has already said they could be looking at working with a coalition to unseat the APC. So I won't be surprised if he's also an individual who goes to join the ADC of Peter Obi and Atiku Abubakar. Now, how will people react to Peter Obi contesting on the same ticket, just like one in 2019 with Atiku Abubakar? Many of Peter Obi's supporters would not welcome the idea. And in fact, one of them, I think it's Madam Aisha Yusuf, said that if Peter Obi becomes the running mate of anybody, that is going to in our capacity, our private capacity, work against that ticket. And she added that why should the best always be made to play second fiddle? So what she's saying is Obi is much better than Atiku Abubakar, and Obi should be the candidate of the party. Anything short of that, they are not going to get his support. Professor Patu Tomi also said the same thing, that it has to be Peter Obi or nothing. But Nigerians are saying that these two individuals are not known to have won any election in their lives. They do not have electoral value, and that their refusal to support Peter Obi in the event that he teams up with Atiku as Atiku's running mate, it will really not make a difference. Certainly, this will divide obedience. If and when Peter Obi becomes Atiku Abubakar's running mate, it will divide obedience. But I think that they still have time to be able to pacify people and convince them that it is necessary to let that happen, and that Peter Obi could eventually inherit that seat if an Atiku Abubakar, whom age is not on his side, wins the election and he elects to do only one term in office. So this is the situation for now. As far as Obi is concerned, he took the decision to rescue Nigeria, and he has made up his mind that it is the best decision to make. It looked very much likely that he will not get the Labour Party ticket because the Abure-led Labour Party is deemed to be the authentic Labour Party. At least that's how INEC is reasoning. And for that reason,
absolutely,
Obi knows that he has no future in the current PDP and in the current Labour Party with Abure, Julius Abure, as his leader. So he decided to take a decision before it becomes too late.
Absolutely. Chinedu Okore says, finally, Obi is where he can actually build something serious. ADC just got upgraded. Aisha Lawal says, so after all the new politics talk, it's still the same party hopping. Nigerians deserve consistency. Shola Adebayo says, this is smart strategy. Politics is chess, not checkers. Obi just moved his queen. Fatima Abdullahi says, ADC is not even strong nationwide. This is just another hype that will fade. Ngozi Eze says, the system is bigger than any one man. Let's see if ADC can build structures, not just vibes. And Yusuf Musa says, APC people are suddenly scared. That's how you know something is working. And Blessing Omorigi says, BKO Ibrahim, Happy New Year to you. I'm happy that I'm also alive to watch the program today. And she also went ahead to say, we don't need saviors, we need systems. But okay, let's watch how this movie ends. And Sunday Balogun says, Happy New Year, BKO. If this leads to a united opposition, then good. If it's just another ego battle, then we have wasted time again. Because of our time, I would have loved to ask about whether there are legal and constitutional questions around the party membership and due process and the forcibly registration process or processes being talked about. I'm wondering whether these procedural disputes can weaken the coalition's legitimacy either legally or politically. We can do that in less than a minute. Let's just say a minute.
Yes, I know that there are some cases in court right now. There are still cases in court, but it is possible that they'll be able to resolve those disputes before the end of the first quarter of this year, when real politicking will have started and parties will be choosing candidates and all that. By the middle of the year, all candidates will have been matched, so we'll know where we are going. So I would want to believe that there's still time for them to get all those things right, sort their issues out with the courts, sort their issues out with the NLC, and be able to give Nigeria the kind of opposition politics that people want to see. People don't want to see one-sided election. People don't want to see what looks like a party that is extremely dominant. That is why people are talking about one-party state and all that. Nobody can bring about a one-party state in Nigeria. It's not going to happen.
That's right.